I was cleaning out my late uncle's house when I found a small brass key labeled 4B in the bottom of his nightstand drawer. It was odd because his house didn't have a fourth floor, just a basement, 2 floors, and an attic. I figured it might have belonged to a storage unit or an old lockbox, so I pocketed it and moved on. That night, I stayed in the house to finish sorting through his things. Around midnight, I heard a noise, light footsteps above me. I froze. The attic. The floor creaked softly, like someone was shifting their weight just above my bedroom. I grabbed my phone and flashlight, trying to rationalize it. Maybe a raccoon had gotten in. Maybe the house was settling. But then something happened that I couldn't explain. The doorknob to the attic rattled. Slowly, I made my way to the 2nd floor and stood at the base of the attic stairs. The door was closed, but I could hear it. Shuffling, like someone pacing just beyond the door. My fingers curled around the brass key in my pocket. My heartbeat pounded in my ears. I don't know why I did it, but I stepped up and tried the key. It fit. The lock clicked, and the door swung open on its own. But the attic wasn't an attic anymore. It was a narrow hallway with numbered doors. 4A, 4B, 4C. The walls were lined with peeling wallpaper, stained with something dark. A sickly yellow light flickered from a single hanging bulb. I should have turned back. I should have slammed the door shut and left the house. But something compelled me forward. The door labeled 4B was slightly ajar. I nudged it open. Inside was a dimly lit room, completely empty except for a wooden chair in the center. But the worst part? The chair wasn't empty. A man sat slumped forward, arms hanging limp at his sides, his head lolled down as if he were sleeping. His clothes were old, tattered. His skin looked dry, almost mummified. But as I stepped closer, the air grew heavy and I realized something horrifying. I knew his face. It was my uncle. His mouth suddenly twitched. His dry lips cracked open just enough to whisper 2 words, "Lock-it." I ran. I sprinted down the narrow hall, through the attic door, and slammed it shut. My hands trembled as I shoved the key into the lock and turned it until I heard the click. Then, silence. No footsteps, no whispering. Nothing. I never opened that attic door again. But sometimes, late at night, I hear a sound above me. A single creak. Like someone shifting their weight. Waiting.